So we are saying it's giving direction and influencing the people God has given you so that you can be able to achieve a vision that God has given you. And that's why I'll be sharing more about the ABC of it. It requires those 3 steps where you attract people to yourself. I know the deacons, the women leader, the men leader, they are people God has given you. They have been attracted to you. After being attracted to you and after you become the leader, what do? You start now working with them so that you can believe in them. Because you have to believe in those people. So that for you to succeed and for them to be able to help you to achieve the vision, you must work in a way you believe with them. Because you can never go far until you believe in those people. And as you believe in them now, you realize you start becoming friends. So they see of it, you connect with them. And when you connect now, leadership becomes easy. You can influence them so that you can achieve the goal or where you want them to be as a church. And Bishop, I'm so glad I can see with these kind of leaders, if we use the 80-20 concept, and what we say is that one person influences 120, a maximum of 120. When they go beyond 120, you have to get somebody to help you to lead. So when I look at you now, I expect a church, Bishop, you can multiply the leaders you have times 120. The minimum number, if you have achieved your leadership, the minimum number of people in Umoja KAG should be 120 times the leaders you have. Because that's the maximum you can influence as for the leadership concept. When you 120, you must get others to work with you. Yeah, but it depends on the grace that God has given you. But that's how we test whether we have reached or not. If you are 120, you have not yet reached. So, tafuta watu wako wafike 120. Then the bishop will just be there as the overseer, just looking at how you are doing your leadership, how you have connected with them, and how you are working together. And that's how we test as church growth. That's how we test how effective we are, even in a church. I know even where I am. I wish each one of them can influence at least 40. Just that. At least 40 of the people, and then bring them that those believe in you. Ndipo tunasema ya kwamba kanisa iki break, and that's why you have to be to really work and connect. Any person in the church has an influence. Now akienda, there are people who go with that person. And that's why I was saying the maximum who can go with that person, the maximum is 120. That's the maximum. So inakuwa hivyo. But it depends on how you connected with those people, because some of them may not connect with you, so you may not go far. Watch and your guess on that one, but it's going to help us know. But we're asking ourselves, who gives leadership? Who ordains leadership? And I like what Paul tells the church in Ephesus. He says, God himself, it is he who gives some to be apostles, some to be prophets, some to be evangelists, and some to be pastors and teachers. And then Psalm 75:6-7 says, no one from the east or west or from the desert can exalt a man, but it is God who judges. He brings one down, he exalts another. So what I want to put to your mind and make sure you take it, it is not our bishop who gives the leadership. He was only used of God to see the gifting in you to give you the leadership. And from the onset, I want you to know, it is God who ordains leadership. It is God who makes sure he has people of influence in his church so that they can be able to lead together with the person he has given the vision. So leadership is from God. And whoever has been entrusted with that task by God must prove faithful. So from the onset, your goals wako hapa, the call from God, not even from your bishop, it is faithfulness in your leadership. And when you do that, you will be able now to influence people as God helps you to do it. And that's why we are talking about our objective or our obligation as leaders. Because the leaders God has established are supposed to work under his command. He, since he's the one who gave us leadership, it is good to be loyal to him, to be loving to him, and to be committed to him, because he's the one who gave you the leadership. First and foremost, one thing I've noted, if you are committed to God, if you love God, if you are loyal to him, it will be very easy for you to even respect a servant and to be committed to a servant. So the key thing is committing yourself to the one who gave you leadership. And even if I stop from there, that's the key thing. Because if you get that he who gave you leadership, you are answerable to him, then you do it in the way that God has called you to do it. He's the one who gives us leadership. And therefore, today my main objective, or our objective as leaders, is to make sure we develop what I call disciples, the followers of Christ. People who have the character of Christ. People who receive the calling of Christ. People who become competent. And people who have a heart of compassion. People who can coach others. And people who really contribute to the issues. I may not go to the details of that, Bishop, but next time when we come, he gave me 1.5 hours. Nataka kufanya hiyo introduction within that time so that we can be able to get. But that's what we are looking at. We are looking at the 6 things, characteristics of how you develop those disciples that God has calling you. And so I want to say any group of leaders that are effective must aim to satisfy the needs of the people by showing them how to achieve the vision. There is a vision for this church. It's only I've come for the first time. See, you go. Oh, a community of believers passionately loving God is people and doing the work of redemption. Wow. A community of believers. So you are developing disciples. You are developing a community of believers. You as a leader. That gives the bishop, the vision carrier. But it comes now to you. You own it so that you can be able to passionately. I love that word. Passionately loving God. What I say it because He's the one who gave you leadership. At the same time, loving His people. And then doing, wow, so that you can win more souls to the kingdom, a wonderful one. And that happens when you attract them, when you believe in them, and when you connect with them. When you do that, then you shall be able to achieve the vision that God has given us. I want you to note God's model of leadership. And I want to bring to us as readers that leadership is not lordship. Jesus, speaking to the people, said in Mark 10:45, the Son of God came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Him who is our God, ule alitupatia uongozi, himself, when he came, he said, I did not come to be served, but to serve. He came as a servant. And we have to take it ourselves as readers that we are called to serve. And so the standard of Christian leadership is very different from that of men. He was talking about where I am. Where I am is very easy. Ukikosa kufanya kazi yako, tutaonana tu. Utapata first warning, verbal warning, second verbal warning, a written warning. When you get the second written warning, we allow you to. The next one we tell you, my friend, we want to investigate you. And then you lose what you are. You lose your job. And that's the procedure. Because if you don't follow that one, now kuna wengine wanataka Public Service Commission, utaenda pale and then it's a case which you're going to do. But what am I saying? In the church, our leadership is not possessional. Our leadership is functional. That's Christian leadership. We are functioning in an office. Remember Ephesians 4? He's the one who gives some to be apostles, other to be teachers, other to be pastors, evangelists. What is that? It's a possession which you are given in a church so that the body of Christ may build up. And that's why Jesus said, we are not lording it over those entrusted to us, but we are becoming an example to them. And that's why I want to say to us, tukienda kusoma hii masomo, 1 Corinthians 4:2, it is required that those who have been given a trust must prove faithful. I will show you as we move on how God can lift you up when you do what He has called you to do as a reader. Because it's very important. But here, what I want you to learn is that our leadership is not possession, it is functional. You are here to function in an office for the sake of making disciples, doing the work of the ministry, helping his people that they can grow. That's why you are here, to help our bishop so that people can grow up. People can reach the level that God is taking them. And if you note that, it will be good. And somebody said that I quote, without leadership, the church is like a sheep without a rudder, going around in circles. That's why you have a leader who is directing you, giving you a vision. This is where we are going. And when a sheep is directed, it is able to move in the right direction. And you are the vision carriers, people who have been entrusted with responsibility. Ili mufanye pamoja na askofu wetu. So please help him, that as he steers the sheep, you are going the same direction, and that way it will help us. So how can we be effective in our leadership? For effective leadership, and I'm glad, I'm happy to see this, I'm glad. The first thing is a vision, and we have it here. A community of believers. So that's what we have to develop. Developing people who love God, that have heart for God. After they love God, and that's the first and foremost responsibility, then they are going to love his people. And then do the work of the ministry, which God has called them to do. So that's the vision, which we have here. Now the vision, each one of us must direct his mind to. Whatever you do in your WK, whatever you do in your men's fellowship, whatever you do in your teenage ministry, in the youth ministry, in the children ministry, must be geared to the vision which has been given. So there is a vision here. So and you as a leader, as you got the main vision, tengeneza vision yako in line with this vision. Have a dream. Where do I want the bishop to be in the next 5 years? Or in the next year? Or where do I want Umoja Church, KAG, to be in the next 5 years? So nothing happens unless there is a dream. Arthur Williams said, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. You cannot become something you have not dreamt. So you have to dream. This is what I want to be. I said the greatest influence is 120. I want you to check yourself. How many can you say you have in your inner circle? Forget about them where in the inner circle. Where mwenyewe. And I hope these people will be given the cells. And in that cell, we should be coming to see a church of 120 in that cell. Imekuwa sana. Hata ikiwa na 50, we are very comfortable. I saw you are very many. If I can, that can be done. Actually, our bishop will take all of us. That is our overtake ICC. And that will happen when people take that one and have their own vision. And then you have to know yourself. Harold Whitman said, do not ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. Wewe mwenyewe. And when you go and do that, and then go and do that, because what the world needs is people who have come alive. They have self-trust, which is the first secret to success. They trust themselves. I can do it. Even if life's ups and downs come, they provide windows of opportunity to determine your values and goals. Think of using obstacles as stepping stones to build the life you want. As a leader, you have to understand who you are, why you are there, and know where you are going. Sasa wewe, why didn't God bring you to Umoja KAG? Si sababu ate bishop alikuita. Why are you here? There is a purpose. He knows how to allocate and he allocate. Akijua your purpose is over there, Umoja KAG atakupeleka mahali pengine. He can even create a job for you in Mombasa. Ama create a job for you in Eldoret. Ili akupeleke. So there is a purpose why you are here at a time like this. And the reason why you are at the KAG Umoja at a time like this. Accomplish that purpose which God has called you to. So know who you are. When you know yourself, why you are here, you will not even compete. Because for this time, we have a vision bearer. Uta compete na yeye. Wacha afanye kazi yake as a leader. Then wewe mwenyewe, can you do your part because you know who you are and where you are going. And that way, it will help you to achieve. And so, that thing is what I call having self-confidence. And Pickford said, haya, I'm told kuna watu wako azikovu sasa ama ungeweka kimachini yako. Wasikiwa kwa pale. Oh yeah. Now. It's a good problem. The more leaders we have, the more growth we have. And I'm so glad. So what are we saying? After knowing yourself, have what we call self-confidence. Ukipatiwa mamlaka ya kuongoza, just kama vile aliambiwa na askofu, kalia kiti wakati became our bishop for Nairobi. Kalia kiti vizuri. So hata Bia tunasema ya kwamba wakati umepatiwa mamlaka, if you are the main leader, kalia kiti vizuri. And be confident. If you are the women leader, kalia vizuri. Na uongoze au mama kulingana na vile Mungu amekuelekeza. Have that confidence. Ikiwa waliniona wakanichagua kama kiongozi, si walijua niko na kitu. Yes. Walijua naweza kufanya. Amen. Have confidence in yourself. Self-confidence. Ya kwamba I can do it. And starting coming up with visions. You have a consultant. You have your bishop. You have your mom here. And you consult her. I want to take them this way. Can you give me an insight? You walk together. Because you have that confidence kwamba ikiwa alinichagua, walijua mahali tunaenda. And then from there you start working together. And the church will be able to grow. That's why Whitman said, remember, our thoughts create our attitude. Our attitude becomes our behavior. Our behavior is reflected on how we treat others. How we treat the others is what we think of ourselves. This is a very loaded statement. I may not have time to go to it. But I want to say the way you see yourself is the way you reflect with the others. With a funny attitude of how or how you are, you know, your behavior changes. And ikiwa wewe ni mtu wa kujiona you are down, what will happen is that you start thinking the others want to overtake you, and in the process, because you don't know your possession, you start fighting. Badala kuongoza unapigana. Na sawa unakaa unataka ukalia hiyo kiti. Unafanya hiyo, tunafanya watu wanafanya campaign. Niambia my leader, nikisikia unafanya campaign, I'll make sure you're not elected. Yes. Hata bishop, our last strategy now, I tell them to nominate. So wananiandikia watu over 20, wanaenda wanakaa kivyao. Si wanaume. Niandikieni wanaume. Bado mnafikia ni viongozi. Mnaandikia wote. Yaani mkiandika hapa naenda kwa my now record. I look at that with my deacons. We look at those men. And from there we can choose 10. Say this is what tunaona in terms of faithfulness, in terms of competency, in terms of behavior, in terms of what they do. We can see this about 10 men or so men can make it. Now we go to the elections. Hey men, we have come from the list you gave us. After analyzing what we have seen, yes. Here is the list. So from that, give me the 4 leaders. So you know that's what you do. Even for the women, yeah, they will go and write. Whoever have the highest numbers, I get the 10 of them. Then I come, and then from there you give me. Because if those leaders are not self-confident, they will confuse the others. And I will show you, yes, if there will be time on what happens with some of us in the leadership. And then after that, you focus on success. Effective leadership. Focus on success. John Locke in his leadership book said, I do not think there is any other quality so essential to success of any kind as the quality of perseverance. Mm-hmm. It overcomes almost everything, even nature. The price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and the determination that whether we win or lose, we have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand. You know, somebody gave a definition of success as the active process of making your dreams become real and inspiring others to dream like yourself. But what we are saying is that the handwork, the way you apply yourself to the task, vile unafanya, the way you give yourself is what brings success. And that's why our teenagers, when they write of success, that's how they look at it. Our teenagers, you know, they know how to do this. Wanasema ukitaka succeed. I met one of them. Set your goals. And I will say the same. Kama kiongozi, Set your goals. And you understand the obstacle that can obstruct you. And nitakuonyesha watu wengine who can obstruct you when I talk about team leadership. In a few minutes I'll be talking. So, understand the obstacles that can obstruct you. Because in your leadership, don't think it is smooth. Kuna wengine who come on your way to make sure you don't succeed. Nitakuonyesha wanaitangwa nani. I'll go to that. Wanaitangwa brokers. Na wengine watakuonyesha wako hapo, and you'll be able to see how you can be able to. But remember this, understand the obstacles that can obstruct you. And then even if you see the obstacles, have a positive attitude. I can go beyond these obstacles. Seriously, I can go beyond them. And then what I say, you clear your mind of any doubt about succeeding. After ikiwa kuna this or that, I'll focus that I can succeed. And in the subject I'll be talking about how we can be able to work on our mind so that we take captive our thoughts to make them positive, that I will succeed in whatever I do. So clear your mind of any doubt. You are succeeding. It doesn't mean when you fail that you have lost it. No. Amen. Somebody says challenges are stepping stones to greater success. Yeah. So ukipata hiyo ikuja and you surmount it, you realize you are going somewhere. And then when you see there's a challenge, embrace it. And look for ways together with your partners on how can I be able to go away from this challenge? This challenge has come, how can I be able to overcome it and move to the level I want to move? And then when you know that, don't be distracted. Stay on the track. Amen. This is our vision. I will not go against it. Yes, Satan with his own ways can bring obstacles, can bring other things, but I know I want to develop people who love me. People who love God. People can do his work. That is my core. So I'll remain on the track of doing that. So long as I've not sinned. As long as I've not gone against the standards of God. Nico with God in it. It doesn't matter. Whatever is happening, I'll move on. And you know, you together with God, you can do a lot. Amen. And you go very far. Amen. So stay on the right track. And then finally, show the world you can make it. That's true. Wacha ulimwengu uone. I'm sorry. Wacha ulimwengu uone you can make it. And you can. No wonder we keep on quoting the other leader. This American guy, Obama. You can? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. You can make it. So you tell yourself with your leaders, man, guys, we can. Women, we can. I like Vijanas. Vijanas, we can. We can do it. And then you continue on that. And then that's what we call success. And then you focus on that. After you do that, you read now in what I call in every direction. What do I mean by this? And this is what makes us succeed as readers. First and foremost, we have to know, as I said, leadership is from God. So whatever I say, I must know my leader is listening. If I say this is what I'll do as he commands me. And I'll allow him to guide me. And this is what we say, and I like these quotes, do as you say. And that's what we are where is the Judge Secretary? Announcement. On Friday, we are coming for Kesha 35. Where are you? On Wednesday, we know there's a prayer meeting. We shall be there. A lot of us must come. Do you know there are people who watch what you say? Ikiwa there are people, deacons, you must be very careful. Ikiwa kama sisi wachungaji, that's why Bishop, I make sure he knows I'm in those meetings. Because if I announce we are going to be there and I'm not there, if I will not make it, I will make sure my wife knows or my deacons know and the church know. They'll be told, Bishop alienda mahali. So that they will not say, anatuambia tukuja eh? If you want to succeed in leadership, be an example. Lead by example. And walk the talk. No wonder somebody say, do not preach wine and or you drink. You preach. My. Unasema what you don't do. When I talk with the men, I tell them, you guys, that time I was with the men in my place, Nairobi South District. And one of the things we are talking about is, sometimes you get so annoyed when your child is Mtu ameona mambo sawa. For the sake of those ones. Okay, sawa. So I was telling the men, you know, there are some men, they put wine in their fridge. And they are child of a boy of 6 to 7 years. Baba anamkuta akijaribu kuju. The father gets so annoyed. Anachapa yo kijana. By the way, who is the problem? Is it the boy or yourself? Yourself. The guy knows the best person I can emulate is my father. Whatever he takes is good. That's what I'm saying. Do not preach water, then drink wine, because that child is running from you, imitating you, even in the church setup. What does the Bible say? Wale wanaokoka, they become babies. They are infants in the kingdom. They want to grow. Wanaangalia nani? They are looking at you as the leaders. So they want to see the way you behave, the way you do things, the way you respect your bishop, the way you respect your leaders. Wanataka uone. If you don't do it, they will think that the culture of the church. And then you start saying, hata wale watoto tumekuza, wale watoto tumeleta. They don't know how to respect. By the way, nani aliwafunza? Do you know, if the children come and see the respect you have for your leaders, the way you love your church, and that's why I tell the fathers, even if it means crying in the church when you are praying, just cry. Let your 3-year-old girl or 2-year-old boy see you crying. And daddy and daddy, but you know, when you go home, you say, I have a father in heaven. Just the way I'm your father, he also works on me. And so when I'm before him, I am a child. I can cry. Can I say, wow, kumbe there is a father who is bigger by my father. And it looks as if that father is a good, because if you are a good father, and then you talk about another father, the child will start embracing this good father. And this is a quite is a good father. Because that time you can talk about, I looked at the way he gave me things, the way he has given me food for you. Nikiangalia that love from my father, I just cry. The child will say, wow, if he can cause my father to cry, there is a good evangelism. Inakuanga hivyo, my friend. So we are saying, then identify the needs of the people you lead and build on them and make full use of the people God has given you. I think I brought that one. Remember, where there is good leadership, followers maintain good morals. Lead by example. Some of you quotes, and then I go to the part I wanted to share with you before we cross. You can see my time is moving. Some quote, Confucius said, give a hungry person a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a hungry person to fish, he eats for a lifetime. And that's what I use in the church. Mtu anakuja niambie bishop, ako na njaa. Naambia sawa, we have food for you for a day. Lakini tell us, what can you do? We will give you a seed. And my departments know. If it's men's department is a man, he goes to the department, we will give you a seed. We can tell you, okay, we are giving you this 3,000 to start, but you must tell us the business you want to start. We can't feed you throughout. Tell us kuna kitu unataka kufanya. So you tell us what you want to do. We can give you this small amount to begin. Kama ni kuosha gari ya kununua maji tutakupatia. Enda osha gari. Kama ni kwenda kazi mahali tutakupatia kidogo. Lakini next Sunday, don't come for the food. We want to show you what you can do. We can't feed you throughout. Yeah, go kuna wengine, they keep on coming crying there. Yeah, ukija para mbili tatu, my friend, something is not right. You are not serious in your core and you need to change. And tunakuwa hard. So wengine wanatoroka, wanaenda. Good riddance. Yeah. If they cannot change. Then we get the others who are, but some others just take it and they excel. The tithe, you see the person, alikuwa analipa tithe ya 100, next time analipa 200, next time analipa 1,000, next time analipa 2,000. It's the same, it's working. It's the same one. Unaona, hata mwingine ameenda 50, unasema kumbe, unamuita. What did you do? And we give them chance to give us testimonials. What is happening? That's leadership. And then George Patton said, never tell people how to do things. Tell them what to do, and they will surprise you with their ingenuity. So what is our call here? It is to guide the people. So what we are saying is this. If you want something done, my man, chairman, and you want to send a man, usimwambie vile atafanya. Just tell them, I want this to be done. Mwachie, afikirie. So they'll come with ideas on how to achieve that. This is the meaning of that. That never tell people how to do things. Because you may be limited with your ideas. Lakini ukiwaambia tunataka tufanye, then they'll come, we can, want to. And in the process, you get wonderful ideas on how you can achieve what you want to achieve. Amen. Last thing said, the highest reward for a man's toil is not what he gets for it, but what becomes of it. When you toil, wacha kungojea reward ya bishop. When you do your leadership, how are you being changed? Nimeona viongozi wangu, in the course of leading, they become managers in high places. They become executive directors. And I really get excited. I see there was some, like my deacons, some of the guys, young, they are 30s and all that. And you hear this, he's the chief auditor. He's the chief what? And the guys are just humble. Very humble. They come with vehicles, mpaka yangu inaonekana kidogo. Anasema bishop, wewe one of them, hii gari yako inatuletea shida sasa. Hii gari yako kanoka hadi chuka na kajua. Si ni kubwa. Hii wengine wale bana sasa inaonekana wewe unatufungia. Na with you know what am I saying? The highest reward for a man's toil is not what he gets for it. Not the small things you get, but what you become by it. Where it takes you. The level it takes you. That's the greatest thing as a leader. So although we shall compliment you, tell you have done very well, but usigoje hiyo. Just know God has taken me to a greater level as a leader. And then remember, God has given us a chance to work us with Him. It is Him who gave us. And He is not just that you forget your work. One thing I know, and I keep on telling my readers, our God who has given us the job is not unjust. And I want you to make Hebrews 6:10 as your verse, as readers. Anytime you are doing this, you remember, God is not unjust. He will not forget your work. And the love you have shown Him as you have helped His people and continue to help them. When you do that, that verse will help you. Now, wacha nikuonyesha wale wanataka challenges as you develop a team in the next 20 minutes. I know I may not do the great definition, but it's a people I want to show you, and you read how they can bring you issues in the process, but how you overcome them. So, because our call, when you have been given leadership, you also need to develop a team which can work with you. Unless you have a team which is working together with you, you are pulling together the same direction, and you are going to the same vision, you have not yet achieved. So you must get a team which is working together. And I pray, hii timu niko nayo hapa inasaidia askofu kwenda mahali. You are a team. And that is my prayer. That all these leaders here are a team. They are able to communicate. They are able to direct their energies to the goal of Umoja KAG. They are able to achieve what is supposed to be achieved as a team. And for a team to be effective and productive, it needs what I call a productive working environment. I want to define that because it's very key for me and you. What is a productive working environment? It is what I call a situation within a church which is favorable and conducive for maximum results. What wanafanya katika organizations, big bodies, we say for you to succeed and for your people to work, wafanye kazi bila kusukuma, bila kufanya nini, you create a productive working environment. A situation within that organization which is favorable and conducive. Watu wanataka kuwa pale. The question is, chairman wa mamen, wanapenda kuja mahali kwa mkutano wako. You know, have you created an environment that they feel if they miss a meeting, they are missing something? As a women leader, you have created an environment that the women want to be, they want just to be there. Hata ikiwa ni kuongea, they just want to be there. Because it's an environment which even if they are stressed, by the time they are going home, they are already relieved. They are already enjoying themselves. They want to be there. Praise the Lord. That's what I call a productive working environment. Create a situation mahali watu wanataka kuja, ndio utajua you have already now been able to achieve information of a team where individual skills, gifts, talents are utilized without manipulation. Usukumi watu wafanye kitu, but they're ready to do it. That's when you realize I'm succeeding in my leadership as a leader, and create that and to help you. And why team building? Because God has given it differently. You have a gift which I don't have. I may have some weaknesses, and those are your strengths. So we feed to one another. We may not do that, but I want to say nobody is perfect, but a team can be. Tukiwa pamoja, tunaweza kwenda mbali. That's Ecclesiastes 2:4-9 says, two are better than one because they have a good return for their work. With this team here, tunaweza kwenda mbali. And because we have what we call synergy, in the corporate world we say 1 + 1 is not 2, it's greater than 2. Because your energy and my energy, when they are combined, we can do beyond the 2. We can build your energy and my energy. That's why when you walk together, mkiwa wawili, you can walk far. When you are alone, you can get tired. Or when you just use your energy, one is there, it cannot work. But when you are together, you achieve. That was why by youth again they say, sorry, team is together, each achieves more. Yeah, tukitumia hiyo slogan ya teenagers. Together, each achieves more. Our team building. Kwa nini tutengeneze a team? Because you are able to do what we call democracy at work. You are able to get ideas and work together. And you are able to embrace and enhance change together. You are able to develop one another. You are training each other. And you are able to make decisions. Because you hear several decisions from one another. And in the process, you are able to do that. At the same time, is what I call network development, connectivity. I wonder, Chair, we may not have a lot of time to... But do you know all the competencies of the man? Who is a manager? Who is an accountant? Who is a builder? Who is, do you know in the church, we have all. Yes. If there's a preacher which is rich, ni kanisa. The other day we had a medical clinic. You know, one of my young guy came and yani mchungaji. Yani you mean hata ule daktari? Hata ule. Hata ule. The guy was so surprised. Alikuwa anasema aya kanisani wote. Because we realized that the few are coming, about 3/4 who are treating and doing the work were from the church. Na wengine hatuwajui. Lakini wakaanza wanasikia kuna medical camp. Wakajitokezea. Hata pharmacists. Kaona kama ni watano. Mbia nione tu. So I came to learn kumbe the competencies. You know, in a team, you're able to know what people can do and get to know those competencies. They'll help you. That one I will skip because atuda hiyo wakati wa hiyo. I'll skip that. Even the team development allow me to skip. But there are four processes of team development, and I may just go quickly. Is what anytime you want to form a team, the first stage is forming. Munaitengeneza. The second stage, because wamekuja from different areas, they will come with their own ideas and they will start colliding. Don't give up. Yes. There is a storming stage. Hata ukiolewa mkiwa mnakuwa wawili, unajua mnakuwa declared husband and mkienda kwa nyumba nao, the storming the storming stages there, brother. We are discussing the first 2 to 3 years, about 1 to 2 years. Kuna hiyo storming inakuwa hivyo, then mnakuja ile inaitwa now after doing all those kind of things, one another, you start normalizing now. And let me say, a team can never work unless it has gone through the storming stage. Munaelewana sasa hapo, munaelewana. How are these people? Then from there you start now say, kumbe hiyo ni weakness yake kidogo. Kumbe hiyo. Kumbe anakuanga hivyo. Kumbe anaongeanga hivyo. Kumbe inakuanga namna hii. You know, hasa kumbe huyo, you start realizing this one is talkative, this one is not talkative. This one can just keep quiet, but the ideas with that person, when they come out, they take you far. Lakini kuna mwingine anaongea lakini idea yote ni matope. Lakini you empty talk, but then you have to run. It is a storming area. Munajuana. So you got to know, and you as a leader, you must be very careful because you must make sure all those what together. Ule quiet na ule talkative. Na wewe unakuwa very wise kujua hata huyu quiet. Kuna ideas if I press. When they come out, they will take us somewhere. So you look at it. And when you have understood now that one, you start not normalizing, knowing this one I can send there, this one I can. Huyu nikituma taribu maneno. Huyu ni evangelist. Nikituma hata huyo mtu ametenda nami mahali. Atamwambia, you are going to hell. Jana mroko kanoko give you again. Wewe kile umefanya. Wewe unajua sasa huyu nikituma. Wacha nitafute Barnabas. Among my team kuna Barnabas, the son of encouragement, ataenda ndugu yangu hata ikiwa ulifanya. Mungu anakupe. You can still come back. Lakini kuna mwingine ukituma that fara will I have gone through it. Mama wengi wanatoroka. Unajua ule mzee alikuja bila aliniambia. Hii kuna moja wewe alikuwa nimetuma kama Mungu wangu. Akaenda akaambia widow Boaz. Alikuwa kwazi. Mama kaya. Wewe. That mama disappeared completely. I kept running very later on. This is a leader. So you have to know, you are guys who are said, no, they know how they are. Before you used to me, wewe bwana, jua ni akina nani. Because they can make sure the church breaks. And let me show you. Let me go there for because of time. The team rows, so that you can see the kind of people I'm talking about. Because they are there in the church. Na utawapata. When we talk about team roles, we are talking about the person's tendency to behave, contribute, or interact with others in a particular way. And they can either be negative or positive. Let me show you the negative ones. Others you can read. Kuna wengine they are called dominators. These are people who focus on self. And they want to control every conversation and every idea. Yake ikikataliwa katika hiyo team, do you know anaweza leta vituko and fight in that group. Sababu yake and by the way, you can even bishop, you can hear talk hata kanisa. Hiyo kanisa it doesn't recognize that there's somebody here who has better ideas, who knows where we. And because he just wants his ideas. Sometimes they cannot take us to our vision. But they are there. They are there in the church. Dominators. You need to know them. Another guy of the negative role is brokers. In your team. These are people who tries to delay, sidetrack, or stop any idea. Ukileta, kadi yake ni kubroke. They are there in a group. Yeah, ile unasema yote address imetoka kwake. And actually dominators are brokers or something. Because akiona yako ndio inakuja na ana broke ili siendelee. And you know there are some who are weak, and that's why leaders you need to be very careful because we are not all the same level. Kuna wengine who are weak, kuna wengine who are middle, kuna wengine who are strong. Ule weak akiona vile mambo yako imeendelea and the way they have talked against what the idea he gave, the person can good or can strike or disappear from the group. So know about those people. I'm talking about know them, even in your team. They are what we call attention seekers. These are people who want everything for themselves. Yani, si tunawajuanga. If it is not me, no anybody else. Anataka hata askofu lazima aende kwake. Hata akituma deacon anasema sasa yeye anapendanga wengine ndi. And you are so many in the church. Please, those are attention. Don't be an attention seeker. Then kuna wengine, we call them avoiders. These people try to avoid any responsibility. You must say out to town. He is very quick to say so and so, so that he is not mentioned. When somebody tries to say, I don't want to, no, so and so is better. Try to avoid. They are called avoiders. And you must know them. And sometimes these avoiders, if you say they are very good, but they will try to avoid any responsibility. These are what I'm saying. Don't be like those guys. Don't be these kind of people I'm talking about in that one. But let me talk now about the kind of people we're looking at in the team. We'll bring positive issues in the team. In a team, we have what we call an organizer. This is a guy who identifies, assigns, and schedules tasks. There are people who don't leave things to chance. These are leaders. And I hope where I am here, katika where unaongoza, you are an organizer. And if you can organize very well among your team, look for an organizer. Kwa sababu nimejua kuna watu tukienda Dawari, kuna wasee wawili ama watatu. Hao akienda pale hata vijana wanajua. Akipeleka huyo mzee ama huyo kijana, mambo itakuwa. Hata akiambia it tells the father or the mother, please, when we come here, I know you are my father, but these two, wacha wao waongee na wazee, wacha waongee na wazee. Anajuana. Yeah, and when they are there, kijana anasimama tu. They will talk, and by the way they are done, hata harusi imepatiwana. Up to wedding is coming. Actually, the first visit, the wedding was given. Kwa the first one, and then mwambia askofu afanye kila kitu. I've given up. My daughter can come. Why? There are those guys who are organizers. They can really do things. They can really talk. And let's identify them in the church. They will help us so much as we do things. There are others we call initiators. These are members who offer suggestions and recommendations for the group's approval. They just give ideas. They don't want to take credit themselves. They just want to say, okay, Bishop, we can do this. Well, how do you see it? We can do this kind of a task. How do you see it? They are initiating a certain thing, but they are waiting for the others' approval. Agojei awe ni yeye anafanya hiyo. Then kuna wengine tunaitaka data collector. They are very good. And by the way, they are very good in the church. Wakikuwa anasema unataka kujua mshene ya kanisa. Let me talk in the positive way now. Unajua kuna mambo mengine askofu huwezi jua, lakini kuna mtu ameconnect na watu anajua kila detail hata kale kadogo sana. Sasa data connect. Na wako wazuri sana katika if you know some kama visual utajuaga hata zile zinakuwa underground zile zinapoteaga ujui those that kind of person that you know kuna semwa they really collect the data. They know what is happening even when you are about to be fought ama kuna mzee anakupiga au kuna mama anakupiga na kitu, they are able to know and you know and they can tell because they not reach you. Mama kiongozi unajua so kuna kitu nimesikia data collector and then you are able now to know and pray with a direction. They are very important. And then we have what we call the facilitator. This is a guy who maintains constant flow. This is a guy who realizes when there are things are not working, anaweza kuingilia. Anytime he finds people are almost fighting, kabia mama, kabia the man, he says, "Honey, what are we fighting for?" And so he just comes in and information starts flowing. Because anaingilia tu namna hiyo, and then you find things working which you never thought can work. Then kuna mwingine tunaitanga evaluator. He looks after you have done all things. He studies the results and what has been happening. Hata mkiwa main meeting anaangaliaga. Mlienda kumtembea mzee so anaangalia, ana evaluate. Mnaenda kwa mama so ana evaluate. Mlikuwa na mkutano kama hii. Like now I know they may always evaluate it. Na hiyo askofu aliitwa na rafiki yake. Sasa alikuwa anatuambia nini? Kuna mtu ana evaluate. Kuna shida. Ana evaluate, anaangalia. Alikuwa anaongea sana, alikuwa anafanya some of the things we could not. He's there, an evaluator. But it's a good part because he will tell you, did we achieve or not achieve? He helps to study results and assess it, making changes where necessary. You realize whatever you have said, don't dismiss it. Yes. See what can we change, what can we do for the sake of the growth to achieve our vision. And then finally, in 2 minutes, maintenance roles. How do we maintain a team? We need this kind of a guy. One of them is called an encourager. Even if people fight, and what are we fighting for? Do you know we were called to love God, to love people, and to do the work of God? My brethren, what is it? Why are we here? To love God. Now, kupenda watu na kufanya kazi. He's an encourager. And we need encouragers. And I pray, oh my guys who are here, the leaders who are here, are encouragers. But we have also a guy who is called a follower. Follows the team in whatever is agreed. Huyu muikubaliana kitu kwa committee. And we have said yes. Even if he had a contrary opinion. Anafuata. It is the team that agreed. If we said we pay 5,000 each, though my idea was 2,000, lakini committee kasema 5,000, lazima tufuate. Na anaambia wengine, it is the we who decided. The majority decided. Na kwa hivyo tufuate. Wacheni kuongea. And he's a good guy. He is able to tell the others, hey. That was the committee decision. We follow it and we move on. He's a good person. He has to be able for the others. And then there's what we call a negotiator. This one, when he realizes things are not working, he can really mediate. He can moderate issues. When the ideas are crashing and guys are running up and down, that's what we tell the chairman most of the times. Be the last one to vote. Chair ladies and chairmen. You be the last one to vote because you can become a moderator. Although some of us may not have this, a negotiator of where we should be, so that you make a decision after negotiating with all the teams and know this is where we are going. And then there's somebody we have called a protector. And I pray all these leaders I have here will be protectors of Umoja KAG Church. Amen. That even if one of us does something which is not right, I will not talk about him out there. I will cover him. Hata watu wakiongea kuhusu askofu wetu. Tuliona. Huyo si askofu wetu. Sisi tunamjua. Sisi tunajua vile anakuanga. Tunajua anafanyanga hivi. Na tunajua he's a good man with a heart. Hata ikiwa uliona kuna kitu kiteleka. You are protector. Protecting your vision bearer. Protect your. Then from there, let me now come to it. When you meet the committee, and you say, although I did this, lakini hapa tukibadilisha. Hapa, we never did it right. Hata kidogo mama alifanya aliongea akafanya unasema that is our member and we love this mama. She is good. Yes, don't tell me kwa village anafanya. No. She's a member of our church. Very good. Lakini mkikuja mama zoe lakini kile ulifanya wewe unaharibu kile kanisa yetu. Tujaribu tubari lakini out there protector, you protect. Nasema hapana, hatufanyangi hivyo. Lakini mkija mnasaidiana. I think Bishop, allow me to stop there. And I just do this final one. My concluding remarks. So as we build a team, somebody said we need to run. And what's running is listening to each other, empathizing with each other. Where it is possible, apologize. This becomes a bit difficult for some of us as readers. But it's good to apologize and say, even a chairman. Sometimes umekuja umechelewa. Watu wamekungojea 15 minutes. And then you just come and sit. Let's go, my friend. Kuna wengine tulifika 20 minutes ago. Wengine tukafika 30 minutes ago. What do you think went through our minds? Huh? And be sure to discuss. What which is not very good. Huyu chairman wetu kila wakati anachelewa. So when you come, apologize. Explain where you are. And I told them, I'm sorry, I will not get it next time. Then let's continue with the business of the day. Their hearts will be healed as you move on. Then you can notify. And this is my final remark. Aspire to inspire. Sababu utaenda. You are not there for where is the Alpha and Omega? Either in the leadership. One day you. So aspire to inspire others. Bring out others. Teach others. Get others who can also teach and take over before your time comes to an end. And become a mentor, role model to the people you are reading. May they see, yes, you are leaders and of God. And this is where I go, I keep on saying, please resist the urge to be a star. Strive to develop stars, and you'll be a star. Don't be a super leader. If people have to comment, let them comment you. Let them make you the star. Do not make yourself a star. Amujui mimi ni kiongozi. You don't know, I'm the one who leads. I have the abilities and all the... My friend, that's the first step to fail in your leadership. Show what you are doing. Let others see it and say, we have a leader. We have one God gave us. We have one who has a vision. We have one who can help us. And when you do this, it will help you. And that's why somebody say there is no stimulus like which comes from the consciousness of knowing that others believe in us. Allow what to or people to believe in you. That's why I tell the pastors, don't force people to carry your Bible. Don't force people to carry your laptop. Don't you know I am the prophet of the hour? I'm the leader of the... Let them see. They will not allow you to carry it. You earn respect by the way you do. That's what I'm saying. Let them believe in you. Let them know you. Let them see God in you. Then they'll exalt you. But you still remain humble. And that way, you go far. So, again, my final word. You are co-workers with Christ. And God is not unjust that He will forget your work and the love you have shown Him as you have helped His people and continue to help Him. So, leading in God's direction releases God's favor in our lives. And God is not unjust that He is going to forget your work. I want to assure you, when you are diligent in your leadership, our God who sees will not forget you. Amen. God bless you. Amen. So, we took me 5 minutes, 10 to, so 5 minutes for question. One question, then nipatia askofu. Dakika zangu 5 tu, tuende kanisani. Viongozi, swali yote. Nimeongea mambo mengi sana. I did a lesson of 3 hours in 1.5 hours. So maswali. Yes.
So my question is,
yeah.
Maybe we have not started identifying the leaders or how we organize our So can we get other people who know them better than us leaders so that they can help us to identify them?
I said you are forming a team. Okay, somebody is asking, the other one could not hear. You say, how do you identify the organizers and the brokers? I guess there are some who are raising their hands. Our own, yeah? How can you identify the organizers, the brokers, the encouragers, and all that? It happens as you work together. Yeah. As you move together. It is not a one-time thing. It can even take 2 to 3 years for you to organize. Remember I said there is forming, there is a normal, there is storming, and there is also normalizing, and then functioning before you can adjourn. Those 4 steps, it may not just take 2 months or 1 month. I don't know how long it has taken this Umoja church to be here. How many years now? 28 years. For you to be where you are. He was around with his wife, and many things happening here. But then all of a sudden now, God has brought people. And the good thing now for his 28 years now, you can engage with your bishop and he knows. Remember the data collector? And I love them, data collectors. They can be negative or positive, but they'll give you the information of the people whom you are, and you are able to see. And by the way, when you sit to the committee, sometimes I sit to my board and we analyze the members. We look at them and say, how do you see those ones? If you are a member, I have what I call a executive committee. All the departmental leaders are there. And all the pastors are there. So you tell me, how do you see this? And then may be brought. Utasikia so many maonis. But that one is Anina Sako. And our agreement is whatever we talk here, should God not go? Because you can cause a church to break. Ukienda kuongea, unajua tulikuwa tunakudiscuss na mchungaji. Tulikuwa tunasema wewe tukijua hivyo hata tutakutoa leadership. Because wewe unafanya you are causing us to fight and disintegrate as a church. But when you are there, we are not getting the information in a negative way. Tunapata ili tujue. Tukipatia huyu this leadership here, atafanya namna gani. So it takes time, but you are able to identify. And by the way, it's very easy. Muikaa na watu utajua tu. And vacation, the best time is when you have a retreat. Wakati watu wanafurahia, you know, when there are no major issues like formal, kama hii. Unajua hii ni formal. Wakati mko bisho wako na track shoot na nini mko kule, hakuna kuogopa kama utapelekwa vestry or not. So that time unajua ni kukula pamoja, kujump pamoja, kila mtu wako pale. You know, that way you are able to see the behavioral patterns of the people. Hata wengine wase hujawahi kujua, unaona hii inatokea haka namna hiyo tu, you can see. Unaona hata wamama wengine, you know that time, sometimes even you go for swimming. You know, sasa nitaenda swimming, so wengine wale unajua. So wengine sasa nitaenda na oh my clothes. Because I can't imagine. So unaanza kujua wale wametoka Kinango. Wametoka Nairobi. Wale wametoka kule tunaitaga higo. Wale wametoka Murang'a. Wale wametoka. Utajua tu, you will be able to know the behavior. So you are able to know now hapa I must read, but then you must know how to do with it. That's how you do it. So that you are able to know now this is how it is, and it helps you. Yeah, last one. My time is up. Last one.
Okay, is it possible? As a follow-up to the question of the
Yes.
Is it possible that one individual can be an organizer at the same time is very good in mobilizing and such?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's someone who can have that. And they are rare, but they are there. Can even have 4 of those issues. You look at him, he's an all-round person. The only problem with that person, mnamtumianga sana. When you know the person, instead of having that, that's a person who is given major responsibilities. Ukisemekana nani? Nani chairman? Nani nini? Hiyo ndio only disadvantage yake, but they are there. And they are very good. And the good with them, they embrace it very, very well. And they take it positively. Apana, I don't need another question. I have to hand over to the bishop. I have to obey. And my time is up. Karibu askofu. And God bless you.